And coronavirus is trash. It's so trash. Like, I remember when I first seen it in Wuhan, I didn't think that it was gonna come overseas and be this impactful. You know, like you think like, oh man, that's crazy that that's going on over there, but you don't really kind of like click in your head like, oh man, this thing is gonna travel across the world and affect the entire globe. I didn't know the impact of it at first. And now it honestly just shut down 2020 for everybody. Like the Rona is trash. But hopefully we get a vaccine, get it knocked out the park, and we can continue being great. What's the significance of the word preach? So typically, when I use the word preach in my ad libs, it's usually because a lot of the times I freestyle. And honestly, when I use the word preach, it's because I'm about to tell you. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I record verses, I normally tell you how I feel, but I feel like when I start using the word preach, I'm just casting directly from my spirit at that point. Like everything that I'm about to say is extraordinarily real, like extraordinarily authentic. It's extraordinarily how I feel. It's uncut, unedited, unadulterated, not watered down, nothing. It's no additives. When I say preach, I'm basically about to make a point. So if you pay attention to every single time I yell out preach, I'm making a point in some form or fashion. That's the history behind preach. That's a good question. My top 3 favorite movies. You know, I'm a real big comic book geek, low key. So I'm gonna have to say one of my favorites was Blade with Wesley Snipes. I'm really excited to see what they do with the new Blade. Um, Another movie that I really like, I'm really into sci-fi, so I have to say The Matrix. I'm a big Keanu Reeves fan. I like him. And then for my last movie, I'm gonna go with The Departed because I felt like it was written really, really well, and it's not something that you could just immediately predict just by watching it. If you haven't seen The Departed, you definitely need to take a few steps back, crank that bad boy up, and watch it because it's a legendary movie, like a really, really well put together film, and it has a lot of big actors in it. Why I mention my friends on records? Well, so a lot of my music, I'm not a really commercial artist. I mean, I guess a lot of my music kind of sounds commercial to an extent, but I tend to put a lot of my friends' names in my records because honestly, I feel like a part of the reason why you listen to an artist is because you want to hear their story. You want to hear their background. You want to hear that a lot of the things that you're hearing is facts. And the only way that you can really solidify that it's a fact is if they're naming real people that really impacted their life in some form or fashion in their music. So you'll hear me mention like a lot of my friends, like I'll mention Zylo, I'll mention Tim Baller, I'll mention King Razor, I'll mention Fats. It's because all of these people played a pivotal part at some point in my life into making me who I am. You get what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I mention my friends.